Good afternoon, folks. Good evening. Good morning. Whenever you're listening to this, this is your host of Life of a Veteran here, Velma Selledge, with that podcast voice, trying to make it smooth when it's just fucking not. Um, and today I'm interviewing Doug Kautzman as he.
Sorry,
I screwed that pony like up royally, guys. I'm sorry. Like it's kind of.
You're not fucking this goat really good. You got
no.
I'll hold them horns. I gotta hold the horns.
I know. I'm totally screwing this up. I just said up. That was weird. Up. Now, with light of everything that's going on with Afghanistan, I actually wanted to get someone who's had way more experience than me to talk about it and to give a statement. And his name is Doug Kautzman. He was a sergeant in the United States Army, almost the Marine Corps. Yeah, I know, right? He's going to give a little intro of who he is and whatnot. And I'm going to ask him about 4 to 5 questions. I think I got 6, but we'll see how it goes, folks. And he's going to give a statement as well on, his thoughts on Afghanistan and like the current situation. So,
yeah, I'm supposed to talk now.
You're a Pisces, right?
I am a Pisces. My name's Doug Kautzman, and I'm a Pisces. I'm here to fuck this goat. Now Vilma's gonna hold the horns. We're gonna turn it around and get a little dirty with it. Maybe rub some butter on it. Who knows? I'm an 11 Bravo, so I'm gonna get kinky with it. We're gonna maybe put on some duck feet and walking around in the sand. I was in the United States Army, joined in 2000. I got out in 2010. I did 3 tours to Iraq, and I did 1 to Afghanistan. And I was with the Georgia National Guard, my one in Afghanistan, and it was definitely an interesting experience. Very different from Iraq. People assume Muslim countries got to be the same, but no, it's completely different country. Great people though. Really,
you
really
like to explain the differences?
Iraq was hot and just hot. It did snow. Like my one deployment to Iraq, it snowed out in the Western Desert. I mean, it snowed probably like an inch, and we thought it was amazing. There's mountains in Iraq, but in Afghanistan, we got snowed in, like snowed in, and we were in the mountains, like up in elevation. The only way that they could get to us was by helicopter because the roads were completely like snow covered. There was no way to get to us. So yeah, it got cold there. It was more tribal, I guess I would say. The people were more tribal there. Very, I don't know, it just felt different too. Like the atmosphere was different.
You're in Gardez, right?
I spent the first part of my tour in Kabul at Camp Phoenix, and I pulled gate guard and tower guard there. Met a guy named Rambo. He was an Afghani civilian. Spectacular gentleman. A lot of people know about Jamshid, the RPG god. Well, Rambo is another guy that is just one of those guys that is the stuff of legend. He is the stuff of legend. So Rambo, his family, his wife and his daughters were killed by the Taliban because during the Soviet occupation, he fought on the Soviet side. So when the Taliban came and took over, they killed his wife and his daughters. He wasn't home. Him and his son weren't home, I guess. And so when the U.S. came, he was very happy to fight on our side. So he was pulling gate guard because his house was right there at Camp Phoenix. Like, front gate, his house was there. He had his chickens. He was good to go. This guy carried a baseball bat. They wouldn't let him have a rifle or anything, but he carried a baseball bat at the front gate. And that's what he used. One day a car bomb came to the front gate. This suicide bomber. He drove it to the front gate. And there was a line, and the suicide bombers waiting to get up to the U.S. soldiers to blow him up and kill him. Well, Rambo sees him and knows what's going on. Goes over there, grabs the suicide bomber before he has a chance to set off the bomb, rips him out of the car, and starts beating on the dude. Just starts beating on him, like without a care in the world, and saves all the Americans' lives. And like no fear, nothing. Just ripped the guy out of the car bomb and just started beating him. That's the kind of guy he was. Just no fear, didn't take shit from anybody. I guess somebody messed with his chickens one day, or they killed one of his chickens. That person's chain of command, like Article 15, lost a rank and everything because you don't touch Rambo's chickens. Yeah, dude was hardcore, man. But yeah, like there was a lot of that stuff. Like he just had a thing about like kicking the crap out of suicide bombers. He wasn't scared of anything. But his name was Rambo. Worked the front gate of Camp Phoenix. Didn't speak. He spoke a little bit of English, but not much. But he was always there to help out, and every day he was there, like all day, every day he was there helping out at the front gate. And he'd go to his house and he'd go to bed. Every morning he was out there again. Like he was a constant fixture at Camp Phoenix, at least while I was there. So I was there in 2009. And then my father died in November. And when I came back, they ended up, they put me on tower guard for a short while. And they ended up sending me down to Bob Lightning Gardez. And that's in the P2K area. It's on the border of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And that's in the mountains. Like that's the Hindu Kush, middle of nowhere. And that's where we got snowed in. And there was just 7 of us to do the job of, I think there was originally supposed to be about a platoon size element to run that fob. And there was like a squad size element to run the fob. So, I mean, we were working our asses off. But we did it. We did our job, and our little fob was actually a fob within a fob. So we had Fob Lightning was on an Afghan army base called Fob Thunder. And then there was an ODA compound, and I can't remember for the life of me what they called their little compound. And then there was Fob Gardez, and that's where they had an infantry battalion stationed there, and they were the ones who like patrolled the city and everything, the actual city of Gardez. And then there was an outpost down in the city, and I can't remember what that outpost was called too. And that outpost also, there was a training center for the Afghan army down in the city too. Okay. The other thing is on Fob Lightning, they were training officers and doing like tactical stuff on there. They had like a lot of like field grade officers working with like Afghani officers on like tactical situation stuff in Afghanistan. So it was very interesting, the stuff that went on with that fob. Had a really nice range there too. Well out to like past 1,000 meters. So, if you wanted to take a 50 cal out there, you could, let fly.
Right.
So.
Well, and speaking of which, do you think your time was worth it? In lieu of what's going on?
Yes. Okay. I've been contemplating that, like, well, what was it all for? Was it worth it? That's a question that keeps coming up. And I'm like, no, it wasn't worth it. Yes, it was. And I have to say, ultimately, it was. And here's why. Okay. Our whole job when we joined the military, everybody's like, oh, you're protecting freedom and everything. Yes and no. We are protecting America's freedoms by protecting America's interests overseas. Okay. Our economy is a world economy. We have interests all over the seas. We rely on raw materials moving smoothly throughout the world, different modes of transportation, the freedom of movement, everything. And I think Afghanistan, well, what was going on with Afghanistan as far as being a breeding ground for extremism. This I don't know what you want to call it, but it's not the religion of Islam. What they practice is not Islam. That is, they say it is, but it's not. It's this extremism that just but anyways, I digress. But we are protecting our interests. So the Taliban there, they were allowing Al Qaeda to operate. They allowed terrorist cells to train there. They were a breeding ground. And they bombed the World Trade Center. So that right there is American interest. Okay, so we went over there, and we kicked ass. Even though we were over there fighting a war, we took that fight to them, and we allowed the fight to stay over there. Okay, I don't think we had, other than homegrown terrorists, I don't think we had any terrorist attacks here, did we? Not that I can remember, because we were too busy making them fight. Yeah, I mean, we were fighting on their soil.
I mean, unless we're not including the Boston Marathon, right?
Well, those are more homegrown, I think. Yeah, the Boston Marathon was one, but that's again, that like that wasn't a cell that was like that came over here and like the World Trade Center kind of thing.
Right.
But for the most part, I think we were protecting America's interest overseas. Okay, as far as staying there and nation building, we are a failure at that. Especially when over there corruption reigns supreme. Um, Corruption is like an everyday thing. I mean, even here, corruption. Like if you go to in cities, in people do what they got to do to survive, and corruption is part of that. You know, um, they just don't care. They're gonna take what they want and screw everything else. And I think a lot of people, especially the officers, had an unwillingness to fight there at the end. Uh, they wanted money and they wanted to get the hell out of Afghanistan. And I think the Taliban said, "Yeah, sure, whatever, whatever makes it easy." And I think those officers are probably in Pakistan and Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan and all the other stands, and they have money in their pocket, you know. And they told their troops to lay down their weapons, and they screwed everybody. Um, and thank God for those guys in the oh God, I can't even pronounce it. The Pajnimshir province. They're still fighting the Taliban. I mean, that's what needs to happen. The Taliban is about to lay down the law. They already are. They are holding Americans hostage. I don't know if you know that they're holding Americans hostage on the tarmac. Um, they won't let them leave because they want the U.S. government. This is what I've heard, according to the news outlets that I've read, according to CNN and Fox News, and I think I read it. Those are the two I've read it on, and this is coming from one of the representatives. I can't remember who I'm quoting. So he's saying that the Taliban wants the U.S. government to recognize them as the legitimate government. I don't know, but
So I don't know what the fuck.
we didn't get everybody out. It wasn't this mission was not complete. So there's still there's a woman over there. She's pregnant. She went over there to get married. She's they're from California, but she has family in Afghanistan, and she got caught up in this, and now she's scared for her life. She's an American citizen. She just went over there for the marriage, and now she might be screwed. The Taliban came looking for her by name. They know she's there, and she's in hiding now. So, she's reached out on social media and everything, but she's in hiding. So it's only a matter of time before her neighbors they offer money for her, and her neighbors time her out because Taliban has money, and they're probably gonna kill her and her unborn kid. So just more people getting killed. But I digress. Do I think it was worth it? Yes. To protect America's interest overseas, I think it's always worth it. This is, I truly believe, um, in protecting my country's interests and protecting people's freedoms, even though, they want to bitch and disagree with everything about this country. I'm going to protect you. All right. That's what I'm going to do. So
So the next question is kind of same like as the first one, just with a little twist of words, because it's more of, do you have regrets about serving in Afghanistan? It's
Um, n- no, no. And a lot of stuff happened while I was over there. Like I said, my father died in November. Um, while I was in Afghanistan, they put him on life support, uh, so I could say goodbye. But like, pretty much brain function was at a minimal. He wasn't. He was just on machines just so I could say goodbye. Um, I was going through a divorce and everything at the time. I was struggling with PTSD, pretty severe PTSD. I honestly probably shouldn't have been in Afghanistan. Um, you know, but at the same time, I felt like I was doing something good with my life. And I've been wrestling with that over the past couple weeks. You know, was it worth it? Do I regret it? And I still have to say I do not. Um, and I put a lot of thought, like I've sat there and I've thought about it. Had a couple beers and just sit there, on the front porch. And I just wish that the people of Afghanistan could sit on their front porch and enjoy a couple beers without having to worry about, you know, somebody coming and beating them up because, they blew a fart in the wrong direction. Because that's what the Taliban does. They they hassle you about what they believe is, they violate people's freedoms. Um, and they're going to continue to do that. And they do it in a way that is harsh, very harsh. They lop people's hands off. They do some medieval bullshit. Um, and they make Iran look like Mr. Rogers. That's how bad the Taliban is. They are bad. Um, and they're going to do horrible things. Um, and I think they're just waiting for. They're going to get all the nice reporters out of their country. Using threat. What was that?
That was a video. My apologies, because I was on a news site, and was it apparently the Taliban are using whips against women.
Yeah.
For protests, like was it being with whips and sticks and shit? I mean, and people don't fucking realize, like, the acid baths are gonna come back too and all that shit, man.
Well,
I mean, like, it's not just cutting off the hands. I mean, like, people are gonna get acid baths. I mean, people are gonna go blind. People are gonna, it's
the Taliban practice something called female circumcision, which is a form of genital mutilation, so women could not enjoy sex, because women are not supposed to enjoy sex. Only men are. Women are there to make babies. That's what they believe. They are into that shit. Women aren't there, shit. But you know what? They're probably going to keep around Man Love Thursdays.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to condemn homosexuality but they're still gonna have Man Love Thursdays. It's not on Thursday, huh? You know, I myself am not a religious person. I have never. I grew up. United Church of Christ,
Right.
and all that, going to church. But having seen what religion has done to the world, I mean, religion has done far worse uh, than I think anything. I mean, religion's probably killed more people than anybody. I mean, if you think about it.
What do you think of the Crusades?
Well, no, not just that. I mean, if you think about the Crusades, you know, the Egyptians slaughtered millions of Jews. The Germans slaughtered millions of Jews. Uh, in the name of religion. Uh, Catholics. Uh, you know, they did their job persecuting Protestants. Protestants persecuted Catholics. Shiites persecuted Sunnis. Sunnis persecuted Shiites. I mean, I'm not like, as far as like what's going on with the Hindu religions and stuff like that, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's some killing going on there.
Right.
Um, you know, people slaughtered people because their God is better than your God. And I just like, what? Like,
Dude,
really?
it's the
Like,
bad side of righteousness.
I mean, yeah, like, we here's the rub. I like saying that's my
That's a
new
good
thing.
one.
Here's the rub. All right, Neil deGrasse Tyson said it best when he said, "We are the stuff of stars." We are literally the stuff of stars. Everything is broken down into protons, electrons, neutrons, whatever. We're all like just atoms, just different atoms. Okay? That's it. We're on a rock floating through this vast expanse, spinning around another fiery rock that's also spinning around a bunch of other fiery rocks that's spinning around a bunch of clusters of fiery. I mean, like, dude, we are nothing. We are literally nothing. But we're going to kill people because they think different than us. All right, whatever. So, but I guess I'm a hypocrite because I'm willing to kill people to secure your freedoms, to talk shit about me. So, I mean,
Oh, we could so this is a question that was not actually this is a new question.
does it have to do with the goat?
No, it has to do with was it the school teacher who recently had her kids say the pledge of allegiance to the rainbow flag instead of the American flag because she was scared. Did you hear about that?
I heard something. I heard she suggested it. I didn't know she did.
No,
so
she.
What was the whole? Okay, you're gonna have to enlighten me. I didn't read that article. I was too busy it's been a long week, but we can talk about my long week here later on in the podcast if you like.
Good.
So
Apparently the school teacher was this is just a brief summary. She was afraid, like, so she took down the American flag during COVID, and her whole thing is like, you could say it, you don't have to say it, you could stand, you don't have to stand, you know what I mean? So very like, like super lax, like very, like obviously like very lax about it. And then she put the American flag away somewhere, couldn't find it. She was ecstatic about it, and then so she just didn't really have a flag, and then she just had the kids. She made a video about it, and she just had the kids like say the Pledge of Allegiance to be the rainbow flag instead. So what I mean, where it's like, it's very interesting. And I'm gonna say, as a gay person, why'd you throw us in that? Like, what I mean? Like, it's like we didn't, like, it's like you threw us in that, man. Like, it's like that was even our dude. Straight white women always love to do this shit, and they happen to be teachers.
Damn it, Karen.
I mean, like, lady, I know you're trying to be an ally, but like, fuck, dude. Fuck, lady.
I mean, I'm a middle-aged white guy. I am the epitome of evil. My pinky, see my pinky.
And yet we could have a conversation, talk, and be friends, and find middle ground.
That's because I know I have privilege. I know it. And you know what? I wish everybody did, but the universe just decided to bless me, and there's nothing I can do about it. But you know what? I can be friends with everybody, and I can listen to everybody, and I can have open discord with everybody, and do my best to be kind to everybody.
Right.
I can do my best. I can just do my best. That's all I can do. That's all anybody can do, is just do their fucking best, man.
I will say, like growing up with individuals, like in Columbia Station, it's a lot of poor white people. It's very interesting because that's a different type of white person. You can't tell them nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they know the struggle or some shit like that, where in all reality, it's like you put in a big picture of things. It's like, I don't think you do. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're in, like the foothills of the Appalachians or something like that, or the hollows, or, what I mean? Like, I think that's a little bit, is it the hollows or the hollers?
Oh, fuck if I know. I was born there. And
however,
I'm from Newberry. Yeah.
That's towards the east. That's northeast Ohio, folks. And that's more on, it's past Euclid. It's on the east side of Cleveland. Like, it's
Geauga County.
Is it Geauga County?
Yeah, it's Henderson State Park and all that.
Okay.
It's out there. It's rural. Yeah, it's farm country. It is definitely farm country. But I wouldn't know what it would be like to be Pacific Islander, or you're half Pacific Islander.
Yes, my mother is full, so that then my dad's a Caucasian male.
Yeah, so my cousin, he's as white as your dad. Your dad is white.
Dude, he looks like a trout's belly.
Yeah, he glows in the dark, and my cousin does too. And he reminds me of your dad because his wife, yeah.
Dude, he
went Asian.
He must have been like around Chernobyl or some shit, because he must have got like.
Yeah, like I burned. Like I thought I was a white dude, and I burned, but some dudes just fucking glow, man.
Dude, he's like, not like, dude, like.
He was on a.
He's opaque. Like he's almost translucent, but like when he was younger, he was translucent. Now he's like opaque.
Like, when his skin peels off, it's clear. It's like saran wrap.
Dude, like, can you imagine? Like his skin screams as soon as the sun like touches it. Like it goes.
Oh my god!
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
this is gonna
I'm
get
surprised
taken out from
he's
YouTube for
got some
community
blue
standards.
eyes too. His eyes are like,
Yeah.
like they're like, I'm surprised he could even like look outside. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have like sensitive eyeballs because of like, you know, like
Yeah.
how his eyes are. But yeah,
Yeah. No.
it's very interesting because like he grew up like, you know, like lower middle class. So it's very, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've definitely been there. We were probably lower middle class, I think, growing up. You
He
know,
came from
too.
a union house. Not like not
We
bad,
we
though.
we were anti-union. We were an anti-union family. In fact, my grandfather, he paid his truck drivers extra to not be union.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he didn't. He was very anti-union.
Right. My grandfather was super union.
I I have mixed feelings about unions, but this podcast isn't about that. So
We could have that
yeah,
for save rounds.
yeah.
Save rounds.
We'll save rounds. We'll save rounds. We won't expend
Now,
all brass. We will
yes,
not expend all brass because we have more from
yes,
Farley.
we have three more questions, and there's some serious.
Sexy TV.
Yes. What are your thoughts about the? I gotta reel you back in now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I casted some shenanigans. Now I gotta reel us back in. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the Afghanistan civilians and the translators mainly?
Okay. Well, I told you about Rambo. Like, I have nothing but respect for that dude. And then I've heard about Jamshid. Like, that guy is a legend. Jamshid, the RPG god. If you've never seen Jamshid, the RPG god, you need to look him up on YouTube.
Okay.
He truly is a bad mofo. The Afghan people, I mean, just like anywhere, you're going to have shitbags and you are going to have magnificent people. And it's like that in Afghanistan. It was like that in Iraq. I mean, I know I've had run-ins with Afghanis. They were like cool as hell, and then I've run-ins with Afghanis, and I'm like, something's off about that dude. Like, you just know something's off about that dude. You know, and the sad part is the good people, we fucked them. Like, we fucked them good. And I'm not saying we didn't have help because it was a full, like, you know, UN fucking. Okay. So Afghanistan was the goat, okay? And you know, the Afghani government, they were holding the horns, and here comes the UN, you know, and the US is just like the tip of that dick. And we're just like, mm, mm, yeah, you like that? You like that, Afghanistan? You're a dirty goat. You're a dirty goat. Take that. And Afghanistan did not like that, you know, because you know, then the Taliban came along and they're like, no, it's our turn to fuck this goat. And they are now fucking that goat. And you know, now the China and Russia are holding the horns for the Taliban. So they have that going on for them. But we didn't use lube either. So I don't know. Maybe the Taliban will use a little lube this time. Maybe not. Maybe they'll sprinkle some sand on it. Be like sandpaper. But Afghanistan's going to get fucked. And I feel bad because, like, the civilians are just like any other. They're just like my neighbors. They just want to, you know, live, make money, go out, have friends, just and live. They just want to exist without people trying to kill them. And that's not going to happen with the Taliban. So feel shitty about it, but oh well. We fucked that one up, didn't we?
Yeah. It hurts.
It hurts, but maybe we won't get into nation building, and maybe it'll be better next time when we're back there in 20 years.
No one. Didn't we talk about this last time? How like
It's never been conquered.
Alexander the Great.
He tried.
The British.
Soviets. The
Soviets.
Indians. Yeah. Everybody's been in that shit. The Persians. Yeah. Why do you think the mountains are called the Hindu Kush?
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah.
Kush means killer. Hindu killer mountains. Yeah.
Dude, those are beautiful ones.
Oh, I thought you were talking about my boobs. I'm gonna push them together.
Oh, nice.
I know, right? Down 25 pounds. No.
Good for you.
Yep. But I mean, it'd probably go faster if I wasn't drinking and contemplating Afghanistan.
So, are you drinking a lot of pop still?
No. I've really cut out the soda. My dog just farted.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I can taste it.
Now, both on Kabul and Gardet, specifically, you're on Fob Lightning.
Yep.
Now, what did you think about? Now, did you have to deal with did you live shoulder to shoulder with the ANA? Were you training them?
Okay, so
was there restrictions? I mean, I've heard,
I don't know. A lot of stuff was going on when I was there. A lot of stuff. Okay, so 2009. I don't know if you remember a guy named Bo Bergdahl. The search for that guy was going on while I was there.
Are you serious? You were in fucking Afghanistan during the fucking fucking saga?
I didn't know.
Jesus.
I wasn't privy to a lot of that stuff because, me, I'm kind of I'm kind of ditzy. I'm a ditzy blonde.
Wait, was he in your AO? Were you looking for that?
People were looking for him all over Afghanistan. I had, like I said, we were doing the job of an entire platoon, and there was only 7 of us. I was flight operations, and I was also the Joint Operations Center, NCOIC. Okay. Now, this was an E7 slot, and yeah. So
Sergeant First Class.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and I was not Sergeant First Class. This was after I left active duty, so I was an E4 because I don't know if I had told you. I got an Article 15. I was a sergeant. Got a field grade Article 15 right before I left active duty for disrespect to a senior non-commissioned officer.
What'd you say?
Dougie don't take shit from nobody. He was yelling at me, and he said I yelled back at him, which I really didn't. We were next to a generator that was going, and yeah. And they gave me a field grade Article 15, and it was a bullshit Article 15. But, I took it, whatever. I was going through a rough time. That was all the PTSD shit was going on. That's when it really started to affect me. And I I wasn't getting help for it. Like it was affecting my life. You know, I was hiding stuff about it from my ex-wife, from my squad leader, from everybody, that I was struggling so much, that I was suicidal, that I was seeing people that weren't there. Uh, I was having nightmares. Um, you know, I was falling apart physically and emotionally, and I was having panic attacks. Like, and I thought like I was just falling apart, and I should not have. Like I said, probably shouldn't have gone to Afghanistan, but I didn't know what else to do. I had nothing else to do. I knew nothing else, you know. But I digress. So during Operations Center, Bo Bergdahl thing was going on. I see all the flight shit going through Kazovacs for like people dying out there looking for this fucking guy. That shit's going on. And then I don't know if you've heard about the suicide bomber. He got onto one of the bases that it was a operations center for the CIA on the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan. I can't remember the fob and everything. But the thing was, this was a trusted informant that they had repeatedly let onto this fob and let him into this operations center. Okay, the CIA had done this several times. They knew he had ties to the Taliban. Okay. They failed to search him, letting him onto the fob. They failed to keep doing updated background checks on him. They failed in their security checks, okay, on this guy. And he ended up killing like 7 people in this tent, detonated a suicide bomb. And the only reason I knew about it is because the medevac accidentally sent one of the CIA agents to our fob instead of the Bagram. Like the helicopter just dropped him off on the airfield, and he was not all right. Like, didn't have any shrapnel wounds, but he had a bad concussion. And we're like he just was like out of it. Like you could tell he wasn't all right. We finally got him on a flight, got him to Bagram, but like the medevac dropped him off because there was a hospital that civilians could use at Bob Lightning, which was an Afghan army base. Yeah, so they dropped him off there, and like we're like, no, that's for Afghanis. Like that's not, you know. But he was a CIA agent, so it was weird. It was a weird thing. But anyways, we had to start looking at our security procedures. So me and the battle captain ended up rewriting the book for our security procedures, and we had officers, like I said, there was officers that worked on FOB Lightning with the Afghan army that were like field grade officers, like majors and above. And I think they had a 1-star, was like working with their guys and everything. And they had these informants and everything, but they would bring them on to FOB Lightning every once in a while, because they liked to question them on FOB Lightning, so they wouldn't see them up on the Afghan army base, because you know, there was some of the Afghan soldiers were informants for the Taliban or some shit. Well, we would have problems at the gate because some of their informants were known to work with the Taliban, according to intelligence. Like coming down from S2 for like, no, we're not letting them on the base. And they're like, what do you mean you're not letting him on? I'm telling you he's okay. And I'm no. This guy works with the Taliban. No. In fact, he should be locked up. Like, but they didn't want to hear it, you know. But that was like our big thing was we had problems with some of the informants, because they would flip flop. They would, whoever was going to pay them the most money, and you know, I don't know. It was kind of a weird thing, but some of the Afghanis were cool people, and like I said, and others were like they were shady. You knew something wasn't right with them. You know, you knew something was off. Like you could tell, like they were just nervous about something, and you know,
We had a security breach where I was at. How about you?
well, I mean, we wouldn't let it happen. Like
I mean,
if like that's the thing, we like they wanted to let these guys that were security risks onto an American base, and we told them no. Like Americans wanted to get these guys onto America, and no, you want to interrogate them, you can interrogate them up on the Afghani base. You can do that all day. This is our base, our security. We don't care what your rank is. We don't care how many generals you bring down here. Our base, our rules. Echo Alpha Delta. I mean, we told a 1-star where to stick it. Like that's pretty good when a captain can do that.
now can you Echo Alpha Delta, can you please explain that acronym? I know it, but maybe the world does not know it. So does it have anything to do with your shirt?
Oh, the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Meat Pony.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Look at that. Oh wait, it's this hand. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Look at. Oh no. See,
I could have it on YouTube. I hope.
Penis. That's a penis.
Oh my God.
So Echo Alpha Delta, eat a dick. That's what that stands for. So I saw a captain in 03. Captain in the Army is an 03. Captain in the Navy is what
06.
06. Yeah. I saw a captain in the Army tell a 1-star general to eat a dick. Yeah. Well, not in those words. I didn't not eat a dick, but basically
the most
we're not letting this guy on here. It's a security risk because a 1-star can't override that. Like he can't because he wasn't in charge of our base. There was nothing he could do about it. He had nothing. He had no authority over us. So our security protocols, he had to follow them. So needless to say, he took his guy up to wherever. We don't care. I mean, we're not letting a guy that's a possible security risk because, like I said, that stuff happened and 7 people died because they weren't following proper security protocols. A lot of the security protocols at Camp Phoenix. That's the reason I got kicked down to Cardez, I think. A lot of the security protocols at Camp Phoenix were lax, and there was attacks at the front gate because they were putting. Okay, so a lot of people don't know the smallest maneuvering unit in the military is a buddy team. 2 people. You never go anywhere without your battle buddy. So it's always a pair of people. All right. One person covers, one person maneuvers. That's how you move in the military. Okay. So when you're on guard, whether you're pulling an OP, an observation point, or you're in a guard tower, there is always a minimum of 2 people. Well, not at Camp Phoenix. They had single people up in the tower. Okay, in these guard towers. They had floodlights. So they were giving night vision goggles to people, but they had floodlights flooding out the night vision. If you're going to use floodlights, then you switch over to thermals. Use thermals, okay? Because thermal vision won't get flooded out by the light, okay? So there was attacks at night that people were shooting at towers and everything, and it's because the towers couldn't see because they were getting flooded out by the lights. So, I mean, the security protocols at Camp Phoenix were horrible, and I said something about it, and I made some recommendations, and I was tactful about it, or at least I thought I was, and I sent it up to the NCO that was in charge of me. And like I said, when I got back from my dad's funeral, I got back to Afghanistan. I was there about 3 weeks, and they're like, "Yeah, we're sending you down to Gardez." So I start working for this captain down there, and he'd also gotten sent down there. Well, come to find out, he'd done the same thing because he'd observed like the same thing, and he did the same thing on the officer level. Had told some colonel about it, or like colonel and everything. And it was kind of funny. We were laughing about it, like, yeah, I guess we're just the misfits. We're the troublemakers. And it's funny because the people that were like in charge of fob security, it was like their first deployment. They'd never deployed before. They'd never been overseas. Okay. And at this point, we're like 8 years into a war, and these guys are career guys, and I have more time overseas than they do, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm on my 4th tour here, and they couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag with a butter knife. I mean, it was bad. So, but I digress.
No, you're not digressing. You're good to go.
Sorry, my dog started snoring. She's dreaming.
Oh, Pammy's the best.
She is. She's my little squishy butt. People keep thinking she's a male dog, but
really?
Yeah, she is not. She's just a super chunk. She's fat like her dad.
Dude, she got chonk. Yeah, dude, she's a chonker now.
Yeah.
Oh, before we talk about, well, we're gonna start talking about fruit now. How's that yellow watermelon?
I don't know. I'm waiting till Audrey gets home. She's excited. She wants to try it too. So.
Oh, they're great. Now, what are we going to talk about? One of my last questions. Can you inform us more about? Well, I do want to ask you more about your dad as well too. If he was like an influence on you joining the army. But before we do that, because I want you to marinate on that one actually, because
marinate.
Yes, marinate. You could rub it. You rub it, whatever. You could touch a tip. I don't know. But my last question before we go off super topic, is that docking?
Yeah, space docking.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Tell us more about Operation Pineapple Express.
I don't know the specifics. I know it was 12 former operators. Nick Palmisano, who I'm a huge fan of, and Tim Kennedy, who I'm a huge fan of. Nick Palmisano owns Ranger Up Apparel. He also has a YouTube channel and does the Bad News Network. Every Friday, they do a newscast called the Bad News Network. And it's sad, but that's where I get a lot of my news from, because it's basically weekly news stories that are unbiased. Because anymore, I have to read CNN, Fox News, NBC, CBS, ABC, pretty much all the news outlets. I have to take everything out of there and polish out all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Just to get the facts. Okay, what actually is happening? Because everybody has to put their own commentary in there about how I should think. Well, I'm gonna think how I should think. You don't worry about that. I'm gonna worry about that. Don't I'm a big boy. I can wear my big boy pants.
Hell yeah. Let's not forget about PBS though.
Oh yeah, and what is it? NPR. Yeah,
Oh my God.
there's NPR too. But Operation Pineapple Express, they I'm not sure who the backers were, but like nations gave money, donated aircraft to these operators, and they went over and they got like a couple thousand Afghani slash American citizens out of Afghanistan. And that's a really cool thing, that they did. And it wasn't the US government doing it. I mean, the US government was doing the best they could, but you have to understand something about the US government. The people will always want accountability. So there has to be a paper trail. There has to be this bureaucracy behind the US government. So nothing gets done fast. All right. You can't just do stuff because the American people want accountability. Well, how come wasn't recorded in that? How come you just did that? Can't have that. Okay. So, the Taliban moving as fast as they did kind of reminds me of Iraq in 03. The reason it was so screwed up and we didn't have a peacekeeping plan in 2003 is because we kicked the shit out of the Iraqis in 03 fast. 29 days it took us to kick the shit out of the Iraqis. And, the Bush administration was like, what do we do now? Well, that's how the Biden administration was like, oh, we're pulling back, and they're using the Trump, plan and everything. But the Taliban's like, here we come, and we weren't ready for it. And so they were caught off guard. And I truly think they did need guys like Tim Kennedy and Nick Palmisano and the rest of the guys there. I don't know the rest of the names, and I wish I did. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of remember when the British soldiers were trapped at Dunkirk and civilians in boats went across the channel. I mean, we had American civilians, go overseas and help get people out of a war zone. I mean, what are you doing?
I'm not. So apparently they're working on my fucking roof right now at the apartment building. If that's what you fucking hear.
Yeah, I'm like
fucking. Sounds like.
Of course, we're gonna do podcasts.
Of course, dude, it's happening right fucking now, folks. Because I know if you hear it, everyone else can fucking hear it too.
Yeah.
But I do apologize, folks. I'm so my apologies, folks. There's not. I can't control that. I mean, there's not. I mean, I can't be like, hey, work quieter. Like, what the that's not gonna happen.
You know what? I blame the Taliban.
Yeah.
Yeah, I blame the Taliban. It's probably not some contractor. It probably is the Taliban. It's probably a terrorist attack. That's how fast they're moving. They're already there to get you.
It's the someone wants to keep tabs on me, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's because you're half Filipino. The Chinese, they want to take the Philippines. So,
Dude, there's no shit, like right fucking there.
Are they really?
Yeah, I'm not fucking kidding. Like they're right next to me. That's it. That's not someone fucking, folks. That's just someone knocking. Like there's no rocking for this knocking. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah. Bang it. Bang it. Yeah.
Now, I wanna ask you about was your dad a big influence? Because I don't know if he served or not, or like what. I mean,
so my dad was born in 46. And so Vietnam was going on when he graduated high school, but because of his weight, he was basically classified as, like, they would send him over with like the old people and children. So he did not serve. His brother, my Uncle Donald, was a Marine, but Vietnam had ended by the time my uncle had joined. My grandfather was in the Navy. My great uncle, my grandfather's brother, was Army. Let's see here. I have a bunch of other great uncles that also served in the Army. Some died one died in Italy, one died in Africa. I want to say they're great uncles. It might be cousins, great cousin. I don't know. It's hard to tell in the family tree. And then my one uncle who lived next door growing up, he was at Chosin Reservoir. He was a Marine at Chosin Reservoir in the Korean War. So yeah, there was a lot of people that served that were influential in my life. My dad didn't serve though, but my dad was very, very influential in my life. I think as far as the person I am, I like now, like I'm in the CVMA, and I try to help out as much as I can. That stems from my father. He was, of course, active in the church. Me and organized religion.
I mean, I'm the worst gay. I'm the worst lesbian. You know who I've been volunteering for.
Yeah. Well,
and
I mean, come on now. They're protecting child molesters. So,
I know. That's one thing I don't agree with the Catholic Church by no freaking means. I don't, like
they can't say anything. They're not allowed to talk shit to anybody.
No, they can't. No, they really dude. They have no hand to. They can't, like.
There's stories of nuns whoring out young girls at orphanages that the Catholic Church has covered up. I mean, the Catholic Church has covered up a lot of stuff.
The Catholic Church is great at documenting.
They have done horrible things. Not just killing people. They have done horrible things and ruined lives. And
can I say something?
Yes.
That's why they have God's grace and redemption.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, they just go to confession. It's okay.
Oh my!
Sorry about ruining your life. I just confessed it. I'm okay now. I'm going to heaven.
Five Hail Mary. No, like, I mean, I haven't confessed in freaking years, man. I mean, like, and I folks, if you don't know, to say I'm not a practicing Catholic in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like I do volunteer for the church, and I do it because I'm an ASL student, and St. Augusta has a big, they have a lot of deaf members. So there's the Cleveland Catholic Deaf Clubs there. They have interpreters. So it's one of those things, folks, where, like, I'm trying to immerse myself, you know what I mean? And, religion's one of the best ways to do it in all reality, whether it's volunteering or learning a language, you know what I mean? Like, as bad as bad as, as bad as religion can be, there is good within it as well. I mean, like, the road to hell is paved with good intention, folks.
Yeah. I mean, there are good things that the Catholic Church has done.
And I mean, I'm just a confused gay. Like, I'm a terrible gay right now.
Worst gay ever. Worst gay ever.
Worst lesbian on God's green earth, dude.
Yeah. You know what? They're probably going to pull your card here soon and be like, "No, you are no longer a lesbian."
Yeah. Yeah, God forbid you like Jesus and you want a girlfriend. Like, oh my gosh, dude.
What?
Like, that's so Midwest of me.
Yeah, I know. Because Jesus didn't believe in, like, loving everybody. I mean, but
I like
they like to quote that Old Testament, like Jesus died for your sins, but Old Testament.
Fire and brimstone, baby.
Yeah, sorry, but Jesus died for it, so you're good. I'm just saying, if Jesus died for it, you ain't got shit to worry about, right? Just saying, if Jesus died for it, they can sit there and huff and puff all they want. They're still wrong. Jesus died for it.
I haven't, like my deacon, I haven't hidden it from like the church or any of that stuff. I mean, I'm I mean, I don't hide who I am. I mean, like, just like America, like, I don't hide, I don't run. I don't know. I just compare myself to, like, America. Like, it's just.
I honestly, it was hard for me to. I didn't realize how hard it would be for me to come to terms with being a killer.
Right.
Taking, like, it's one thing to take a person's life in combat, but I had an incident where it was innocent, and I was cleared of the shooting, but that whole thing, that weighs on me, and it's taken a lot of time to I mean, even to this day, it's still. But
do you want to can I ask questions about this, Doug? Can I probe? Or are you just talking right now? I don't. You know what I mean? Where it's like, I am a naturally curious person.
For a second, I forgot I was on a podcast because.
I mean, we're not. I mean, this isn't just like a normal. I mean, we are recorded, man.
I forgot we were being recorded.
You're in your feelings today.
I was like in the zone. I forgot
you still have a statement to give.
I know. I have a whole statement. Well, I guess I could talk about this. I have talked about it. It still does affect me from time to time. Especially when, I'm fiddling now because it really does. It's bad memory. And you'll understand why I think probably why I struggled in my third deployment to Iraq and my fourth to Afghanistan. During my second deployment to Iraq, I shot and killed an innocent man, and he was a taxi driver. And to lay the backdrop for you, we had car bombs going off in the city of Tikrit, left and right. Like they just, that was it was car bomb after car bomb after car bomb. It was getting closer and closer to election time, and we were out on patrol. We had our captain with us. I was driving. Uh, I was driving a Humvee. I was a sergeant at the time, but I was driving because I was the most experienced driver in the platoon, and um, my uh, we had our company commander with us on the patrol that day, and we got a report of a possible IED down in the market. So we went down there, and we weren't sure where it was. The Iraqi police were already there. So we kind of parked our vehicles and kind of cordoned off, and we're kind of feeling out where it was. And I was with the vehicle and with the radio, but the sun was starting to go down. So my gunner was like, "Hey, before the sun goes down, I don't know how long we're going to be here. Can you pull guard forward while I put my night vision on?" And I said, "All right, yeah," because I'd set up like orange cones and everything, so people could see that, hey, we're there. We've got the road blocked off and everything. Well, I wasn't allowed to go farther down the street because of the possible IED being farther down the street. We weren't, like I said, we just arrived on the scene. So I could only put the cones like maybe 5 meters out in front of us. SOP was they 10 meters in front of us, and we were supposed to like put wire down and all this. Like there was a whole like new SOP out. Couldn't do that because of didn't know where the IED was. Like we just got on the scene. Well, all of a sudden, this taxi comes bebopping down the road, and he's hauling ass, and I'm yelling and hold my arms up and doing the stop everything, and he's just coming too fast. So I fired a warning shot, a disabling shot, and a controlled pair with a kill shot within probably less than a second. Like it just happened that fast. Um, car stopped. Boom. Uh, well, one of the Iraqi police officers came over. My captain came over. Like, you know, my gunner, like he's still putting his nods on, but like he was fumbling, like, oh my god, this is happening that fast. And we tried reviving the guy, everything, and sure as shit, there was nothing in there. The guy had his radio on too loud, didn't hear me yelling, wasn't paying attention, didn't see the cones, and like I said, just was coming too fast. So um, I had to go through an investigation, and that investigation is no joke. Um, it's scary as shit. Like what are the, I mean, especially because that's an innocent person, one, so you're thinking about him. Like, I had to go through his wallet to get his name. Like, and there's a picture of his family and shit. Then I'm working on the guy too, working with Doc, trying to, get an IV in the guy. And like, he's already gone. So, but like, you know, I don't know. It just, I was starting after that. I was having nightmares about him, um, and about that incident, and um, I was struggling with my marriage. I was struggling, you know, at my unit. Um, and that it was like all downhill. That incident kind of set in motion my PTSD, I think, because I'd done my job before, but not like that. And so like now in the news, whenever, you see it, you hear about a cop killing some unarmed civilian or something like that, you know, I got to stop and I gotta wait, but it brings up that memory. I got to stop and think like, hey, you know, is this guy just being overly aggressive? What's the situation? What's the circumstances, behind that? Because you never know.
Right.
Um, so, but well, anyways.
Is there anything else that you would like to talk about before you give, your?
I think I've shared enough, right?
I mean, I don't, Doug. No offense, I'm a little fucking speechless. I don't know what you know. What I mean, like, I'm trying. I'm trying to be gentle. It's like,
Oh God, no!
it's like you
That was
accidentally.
like, yeah. I kind of like accidentally like I'm like trudging along, and then all of a sudden I just tripped over my own dick. Which I mean, if I had a dick that big, I'd be in porn. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be either that, or I'd probably be a horse or a
Oh my
unicorn.
gosh!
I'm a fucking unicorn, really.
All right,
Yeah, I'm a chubby unicorn. I'm a war rhino.
the war. That's a good one.
Yeah, Padme is my little war rhino. And that's why. All right, that's why Black Panther is my favorite MCU movie. I'm not. I don't normally tell people, but the fucking war rhinos are my jam. I was like, I need one of those. Like, I was just so excited about the fucking war rhinos that I just. So, anyways, I digress. Sorry.
Is there any like before? I well, is there any save rounds because we'll make your little speech for the end, and then that will be
Oh
your.
yeah, no, I got my little paired statement. See, I got a piece of paper here. Even I typed. I did good. I don't know how coherent it is. I only read it like once, and I should have let Audrey go over it because
Didn't
you
you go
know
to school for that?
she was. Yeah, she did.
Like originally?
She's smart. Dog infantry. Eh. I mean, like if
The
it was
laughing
math,
through the tears.
I'd be good. Like, but she's the smart one. So I'll read the statement, and we can call it a day. And I'll go to the grocery store. Like I said, she wants mashed taters, man. So I do a Parmesan mashed potatoes that are
Really?
like, oh yeah, oh yeah, they're
Question.
good.
Do you
Oh,
use cream or do you use milk? And do you use garlic at all?
I use half and half.
Really?
Yeah, it's because that's what I have in the fridge.
Okay.
Sometimes, sometimes I do use cream though. I'd rather have something with the fat content.
Right.
Um, I will use a little bit of garlic. Um, and it helps. You throw some Parmesan in there and a little bit of Italian seasoning helps a little bit. I'd rather use like fresh, like more of the fresher stuff. Like if you're gonna do it, like a little bit of basil, a little bit of oregano, which I have some growing up. I didn't show you the garden I had outside, but
No.
I have some herbs growing. And I
Doug is
plan
a
on.
man of the earth. No.
I'm a man of many talents, a master of none. I got a 3D printer. I love making stuff. I it's fun. I love doing it. I like creating. Um, I get that from my mother. My mother was the artful one. She did sewing, music, and all that stuff. They wanted me to join the army band. They did actually. My father wanted me to join the army band. My father did not want me to go in the infantry. My parents were very scared that they were going to have to bury me. They were very scared of that. Especially because I became a ranger. I was Charlie Company, second platoon, first Ranger Battalion, and that scared the shit out of them. I think they were happy that I got, released for medical first. I think that made them happy. So, you know, but anyways, I digress. You want me to go ahead with my little spiel?
No, if you got anything else that if you feel like there's anything else that you missed beforehand,
No,
I
I really, like I said, it really, well, there's stuff in my statement probably that'll sum everything up. I think, nice. Um, Anything I missed, because there's stuff in there. I think I dabbled on it a little bit. Um, so, uh, I guess I'll just start.
please do.
Uh, I feel devastated that my time there achieved nothing for the Afghan people. Okay. Um, like any normal person in the world, they want to live and love and have a family in peace and without fear. We had such an amazing opportunity to help people. We wasted it. Right now, the Taliban is selling the world a message of love and peace while they enslave and torture their people with their bastardized view of Islam. They are as much Islamic as Westboro Baptists are Christian. I've been pondering a question. If we, the people, are the ones who are responsible for electing impotent representatives, is this our fault? Is this ultimately our responsibility? If we do not hold our elected officials to a higher standard, then we are to blame. People talk about joining the United States military as defending freedom all over the world. Technically, the job of any military is to protect the country or entities' interests and project its power over weaker opponents. Since we are a free country, defending the freedom we enjoy is a part of that. The Iraq War was never about freedom for the Iraqi people. Saddam was causing instability in the region and didn't want to play ball. We found a reason to invade and seize Iraq's oil fields, and some of our biggest partners in trade made out like fat rats in oil deals. China got cheaper oil to help expand its industry, and we got cheaper cell phones. In the next 20 years, Afghanistan will be a breeding ground for hate and terrorism. The West will see an uptick in attacks. The only question is, will superior technology be able to defeat old world ideology? I think we gave the Taliban a nice head start, i.e., we gave them, weapons, helicopters, night vision goggles, helmets, body armor, all that stuff. Right now, it is our civic duty as citizens of this country, to voice our opinions to our elected officials. If they don't respond, write them again. If they fail to respond again, then it's time to elect someone that wants to listen and have a discussion with the people. Protesting is great. It gets a lot of media attention, but it seems to be very easy to manipulate and spin in the media. Engage in civil discourse with your representatives and let them know I am not happy. And I recently, and I got to write down the note. It's called contactmypolitician.com. I recently came across that. And you sign up for it. Do not be scared. Like, some people are paranoid about putting their information out there. Listen, engage with your politicians. Quit being scared. Just engage with your politicians. I'm not scared to let them know where I live. I mean, stand up for yourself, and talk to your politicians and let them know how you feel. That's the only way they're gonna know, is if we, the people, start telling them and be civil about it. They're not going to listen to yelling and screaming. The media, I got to be honest with you, they're going to sit there and spin everything. I truly believe that people are being paid at protests to riot and to instigate. And if they're not, there's definitely assholes at all these damn protests. But that's not the way. It's one thing to protest, it's another thing to riot. But we need to start engaging with our politicians, because they are definitely, they don't know what the hell's going on. They just watch the news like everybody else. So you contact mypolitician.com. I found this website and I thought it was the coolest thing. It basically, you sit there, you put in your address, and it gives you all your national and state politicians, as well as your local politicians. So you can start a conversation with all of them. Okay, whoever you want to. And I think it is your civic duty to engage your politicians. We have an election coming up here September 14th. It is your civic duty to vote. It is your civic duty to also research these people that the ballot. You can actually go to the county board of elections and download the sample ballot to see who's running on the ballot, and you can start researching these candidates. I don't know if people know that. Go out and do it. Do your research. Find out what these people stand for, and be informed when you vote. Don't just be like, oh, shoot, I got to vote today, and just start, oh, I'm a Democrat, so I'm going to, don't do that. Please don't do that. Oh, I'm a Republican. Oh, I got to vote Republican. No, research. What does this person stand for? This person might be a Democrat, but they might have, voted against something you feel strongly about. Okay. Well, do they deserve your vote? Did they do something that deserves your vote? That's what we need to start holding our politicians accountable. So, and Afghanistan is one of those things. Do they deserve our vote? What do you think, Vilma? Do our politicians right now deserve our vote?
You mean like vote as in like support?
Yes, because that's what it is. When you cast a vote, you are casting your support for that candidate. I didn't vote for Trump, and I did not vote for Biden. I voted for Joe Jorgensen. I'm not scared to say it. I'm a libertarian.
Same here.
I do not. I've lost faith in the Republican Party. I did not like. I voted for Trump in the first election, and that's because I didn't want Hillary. And I thought long and hard about that vote and what it meant, and how I was scared into voting for not Hillary when I wanted to vote for Gary Johnson. And I think Gary Johnson would have made a fabulous president. And I said, no more. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be intimidated into voting for not the other guy. I'm going to start voting for who I support, who deserves my vote. And I think we need to start doing that. We need to start holding our politicians accountable, instead of going, oh, well, the media said I need to vote against this guy, or else this person's going to do this, this, and this. The media is scaring us. I mean, because they have support of either the Democrat or the Republican Party. They give money to these parties. They're biased. So it's sad.
I have to, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, as I gotten older, the more I realize, like, as a fucking person of color, I actually like, you know what I mean, where it's like I have to be involved. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if I'm not, like, I'm, you know, like if I'm not, you know what I mean, like who's really, you know, like, no offense, but like who's really looking out for like, you know, like someone like myself, you know what I mean? Like, you know, where I don't, you know, where it's like it's not just cut and dry, because it's like, yeah, I was in the military, you know, I mean, yeah, I am a person of color, you know, and it's like it's, you know what I mean, where it's not, you know, and like fundamentally, you know, as well too, you know, when it comes to pro-choice, pro-life, you know, like I do believe, you know, like it is, you know, like I do believe in choice. I actually you know, like, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna, you know, like you know, like, however, my reasons behind stuff like that is it's like God gives you free will, right? That's, you know, I mean, that's, to me, that's the ultimate form in a sense, you know, and it's like it's one of those situations where it distinguishes, you know, like whether, you know, like you're left or right in a sense, but you know, it's one of those things where it's why can't we be in the middle about things? You know what I mean? Because the life is pretty gray, let's be honest. And I don't mean like that in a bleak or negative way. I mean that in, you know, just war is not black and white. Life isn't black and white. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of stuff muddled in between, and you know, and it's like I haven't been good about, you know, paying attention to local politics or even like politics in general, just because, you know, like how maybe it'll implode my little pea brain or something like that. However, like it's something that I do need to pay attention to. You know, and I don't, you know, and it's not just looking out for my own, or you know what I mean, or anything of that matter. I mean, it's the community. I mean, like there's more of a, that's what I love about America. There's more than one culture, man. Like there's, you know, like it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, dude, like you go to the east side of Cleveland. I mean, like, you know, you got, you know, park to shop, you know what I mean? Like it's a, you know, like it's big, you know, you got like it's there's China, like, I mean, it's small, but like there's a lot of Asians on the east side of Cleveland. You know, you got like Little Italy, you know what I mean? Like it's, you know, you got, is it the county Mayo that's like half of the county Mayo is here from Ireland or some shit, like on the west side of Cleveland?
Um,
Is it primarily like, I mean, I'm proud.
I don't know. I know. I know the east side is mostly like German, Polish, Slovakian. The west side might be.
Ukrainians are in
Uh,
Parma.
I want to say. I thought the
Filipinos are in Parma.
I thought the Greeks were over here.
The Greeks are in North Worldton.
Yeah, and
I think
then
the Greeks are honestly,
and then you have the Italians, of course, over on Murray Hill. You know, over on the
yeah.
hill. Got those Roman Catholics over there. I don't know where the Irish are at. You
Uh,
know,
was it Cam's Corner?
and then you have Asian Town. And then what do they call? They're calling Lorraine Avenue now. There's that Lorraine Avenue corridor over there by West 130th and all that. Like Little Egypt or some crap.
Really? North Olmsted has a lot of
It's got all the like Arabic grocery stores and everything. All the
Middle
Middle East.
Eastern.
Yeah, like oh yeah, like you can get kebabs down there and stuff. It's got all the Middle Eastern restaurants. You get some good food down there. Yeah, I like that's like I miss that's the one thing I miss about like Iraq and Afghanistan is the food. And
What?
I can't get Audrey to like go down there and try it. I'm like, you don't know what you're missing.
Really?
Yeah. Like oh God. Big Mama's house in Samara. God, she could cook. She did this chicken curry dish with the rice and the dates in it. Oh, dude. Like when we pull an OP there, like she fed us. Like she fed us good. Like we didn't have to eat MREs. Like we'd show up and she'd have like a feast prepared and everything, and like we'd give her money and everything, and she'd cook a feast for us. She was such a, oh my god, I love that woman.
What was what cuisine did you prefer, like Af- Afghanistan or Iraqi? I mean, now what's more Middle Eastern, because it's, like
Well, yeah, because I mean you have to think Afghanistan you're getting more towards Asia,
yeah.
and you have a Middle Eastern, Asian, and Indian influence in Afghanistan. So you have a little bit of and Greek influence. It's funny because the Mongolians have been there, the Indians have been there, the Greeks, the Macedonians have been there, the Persians have been there. So you have this food from all over the place, and it's really influenced the area. So you have a little bit of everything, and I don't know. Like I still prefer Iraqi cuisine like over Afghani. But that just maybe, I didn't really get to sample too much. So I'm kind of biased probably. Um, I think the biggest thing was the Iraqi cuisine that I got to sample. What I loved about certain Iraqi cuisine was, okay, in Baghdad, when we started peacekeeping in '03, we actually got to sample the Iraqi take on American cuisine, and it was really good. So when they ask you, "Do you want sauce on your pizza?" They put barbecue sauce on their damn pizza.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like we didn't know that at first. It's pretty good though. Um, when you want burger and fries, they put the fries on the burger. I never had that before. Fucking good, man. I
That's
mean,
what I mean, that's what you normally do when you get your fucking burger anyways. I mean, you normally, I don't know about you, but I put French fries on my burger.
I never done it that way before. I started to, you know. I now I've tried like so many different ways of eating a burger, and I think that's the one thing about traveling overseas that people need to do. Traveling and eating and breaking bread. Ooh, what was that? Did I just have a stroke?
No, no, no. I think it's my phone that's vibrating.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Audrey is was texting me, and you know. Anyways, um, but no, I, I was watching a cooking show, and they were talking about how important food is, and breaking bread, and how important it is to like society, how it was, like sharing a meal with somebody, and what it means, because and it truly does, because the smells, uh the textures, the taste, you're having a conversation with somebody, all your senses are engaged when you're having a meal with somebody, and I think that's what makes it an experience. And so I think most of my positive memories are with food in Iraq. You know, um, because we'd engage with civilians. We might have tea or something, just something that I'd never tried before, and just engaging with an Iraqi civilian or an Afghani civilian. I mean, right? I mean,
I mean, I don't forget the interpreter Q. I'll never forget Q. I mean, he was one of the, he was from Kabul. Like, that's why instead of saying Kabul, like he said it Kabul. Like he said,
Yeah.
like
potato.
Yeah, it's pretty much potato. You know what I mean? So it's like I just like he used to get me eggs. He used to always get me eggs and like pomegranates and shit. So thank you, Q, wherever you are at. And thank you for all the hard work you did, with the grunts and shit. You know what I mean? Like he was a fucking,
Q, you're the man, Q.
Yeah, you're the man, Q. That was my saved round, I guess. Was just this is my little moment.
There was a certain bread that I liked
What
in
bread?
'05. It was called Hobus. It was shaped like a football. Okay, it wasn't the flatbread.
Oh, okay.
It was like shaped like a football. It had like a little rise to it, and I loved it. And there was one place you could get it to Grit, and one of our interpreters would bring it to me. Like he'd come back with his chicken, like a whole chicken, and he'd bring me a couple slices of the bread, and it was just fresh baked. It just smelled so good, and I'd eat it with my dinner. You know, like
Was
I'd
it
have it with an MRE, like But
was
every
it
once in a while, I'd eat chicken with the interpreters. They'd invite me in, and I loved it. Like I loved sharing a meal with them. I just when people like when I first came home from Iraq, it bothered me that people were like they would somebody came up to me. I'm not gonna name names because I don't even remember this person's name. They asked me, how many of those towel heads did you kill? And I'm like, why, how do you, like, what the fuck? Like,
wow.
And it bothered me that this guy, asked me that, but I didn't want to cause a scene because my parents had thrown a party for me because I'd come home and I was already on edge because I didn't know how to act.
Right.
I just come home from war and I didn't know how to be. I didn't know what I was like. There's no manual for it. And so I just kind of was like, like I ended up hiding in the house for a while. I came outside for a bit and hung out with my one uncle, the one that was at Chosen Reservoir. Like I hung out with him, and some of the other vets from the VFW were there. Thank God. My buddy Brent had come up. He was my roommate in college. He's my current business partner. He had come up from Cincinnati. Thank God he was there. One of my army buddies also was there with me. Some of my high school friends were there too, and it was nice having them there too. Um, but like there was a lot of people that like were acquaintances and like that knew me and just wanted to welcome me home, and yes, dumb shit. And I just wanted to tell them like the Iraqi people aren't bad people. Like, you know, it was Saddam. Saddam was a fucking dick. Uday, Kasai,
The bath party.
the fucking bath party. Chemical Ali. I mean, the bath party fucking gassed the Kurds. They used chemical weapons. Have you ever seen what chemical? I mean, like, it's one thing to shoot somebody, but to use nerve gas on somebody, on children, women and children, come on, like, and then you're gonna, come on, like, the Iraqi people are a good people, and it just, I mean, just like anybody, anywhere, you know, they just want to live, they just want to be free, live their life, and do their thing,
Yeah.
and people in power shit on them. They just take a huge dump, drop their drawers, and take a huge shit on them.
I mean, where I was at Nole, the people just wanted to to smoke their opium and be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, like it's very, and it's super biblical out there too, in a sense. When you go out there, I mean, it's just, I don't know about you, man, but I felt like you got placed somewhere in a Bible story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I saw the what they call the minaret. It was a recreation of the Tower of Babylon. Saddam had rebuilt like the whole compound with the wall and everything there.
Right.
That's just outside the city of Samarra. I saw the Golden Dome Mosque. I'd seen like just so much beautiful architecture and old and ancient architecture, and it just felt like you were going back in history, like the biblical times.
Well, you're in the cradle of fucking civilization, technically.
Yeah.
Iraq. I mean, it. Like that's
being in Gardez and seeing that castle from Alexander the Great's. Like his soldiers built that castle. Like that little fort. It was like a little fort outpost thing. Seeing that in Gardez, I'm like, dude, that's fucking badass. Like, I mean, and it's still there. Like, it's in ruins, but the basic structures still, the walls are up. I mean, it's still there. And that's thousands of years old. And, our country, it ain't shit, man. I mean, now we're starting to find shit like these mounds, like, South America, Machu Picchu. That they just found something out about Machu Picchu. It's I think it's older than they originally thought. Like they did something with the carbon dating and yeah, it's they're every day we're finding more shit out about the Americas and everything, but yeah, but I digress. I digress.
Don't worry about it. And do you have any other thoughts or opinions?
Well, I have plenty of thoughts and opinions. So,
Question is, are we going to go any further?
Well, I actually have to pee really bad. So,
all right. Well, folks, we're going to end it.
Because my bladder is filled to bursting. And I don't want, I'm not wearing a diaper like I probably should. I'm an old man. Well,
folks, that's Doug's thoughts. A lot of things.
Wait, what are you gonna call? What are you gonna title this one this time? I gotta know. Well, this is Angry Doug Rambles was a good title. I gotta be honest. I did not know that's what it was gonna be called, but
I was gonna do from the heart to the hip or the hip to the heart, shoot to the or something in that aspect, or like something simple like pew pew, or like like Afghanistan statement. Or Afghani goat fuck. Okay. No. It's funny. I wonder if I have to blur out this fucking penis on YouTube. I don't know. Look at my penis, YouTube. I don't know. Oh, yeah. So on Facebook, I almost got kicked out of this. I'm in this one Facebook group, and I guess the Facebook people are starting to ban people for just dumb shit. Oh, wow. I'm in a fantasy football league, and I made a trash talking video with I superimposed somebody's face over a sex toy, and I guess I almost got myself in Facebook jail for the video. And yeah, the admins got contacted, and they contacted me, and they're like, "Dude, you almost got us in trouble." And I'm like, "Sorry." How funny was it? I'll send it to you. All right. Well, folks, we're gonna end with dickheads. Don't be a dickhead, or you're gonna be a fucking dickhead meme, apparently. Yeah. Oh no, this wasn't a dickhead meme. It was an asshole meme. Oh my god. Yeah, and it had balls. It was butt cheeks and an asshole and balls.